I'll call this meeting of the Richland County Board to order and ask that Clerk Peggy take the roll.
Harrow,
Here.
Miller, Brewer,
Here.
Kramer, here, McKee,
Here.
Renish,
Yeah.
Hendricks, here, Manning,
Here.
Gill,
Here.
Glassbrenner,
Here.
Harwick,
Here.
Woodhouse,
Here.
Turk,
Here.
Cosgrove,
Here.
Frank,
Here. Present.
Severson, Williamson,
Here.
Bowie,
Here.
Fleming,
Here.
Brookins,
Here.
McGuire.
Here.
You have 20 other, sir.
Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to start? Please rise and what? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. For us, we have an updated 12-point agenda, was updated late this afternoon with some late developing elements. Looking for a motion to approve our agenda. So moved by Mr. Cosgrove, second by Mr. McGuire. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? So we have public comment next on our agenda. Do we have any member of the public here wishing to address the board? Anyone online? Hearing none, we will move on to item number 5, which is discussion and possible action, approval of the Committee on Committees committee assignments. Should all have been in your packets. I do want to say thank you to all the members of the Committee on Committees. It was an extensive deliberation process. We went through trying to balance assignments as best we could. And so just thank you for all your time and effort that went into that. Mr. Patterson, you want to say anything about the stuff that we sent out?
So as you can see, I broke it down just so it was a little bit easier to read. We will compile it into the traditional list after it becomes official. You will also notice that the Committee on Committees decided to assign alternates in the event that some of our committees may shift tonight with chairs being assigned. There may be people that have already been voted in on the executive committee that may be also serving in another capacity. So we'll work that out as we go. But that's why you see the alternates underneath. It's just in case there is a need to make some transitions. I think it is important to also note these assignments are made by the committee, not by me personally. I had no input in this process other than trying feverishly to take notes while all of the discussion was flying around. So these are the wishes of the Committee on Committee members in representation of all of you. So with that, that's what I have to.
I would say the committee did take into account everybody's preference that they indicated and tried to balance that with making sure people got an equal, roughly distribution of assignments. So nobody had too many, nobody had too few. There were lots of different issues we took into consideration, and this was a unanimous recommendation then by the committee when we got all done. So I would look for a motion to approve our committee assignments as presented. Motion by Renish, second by Manning. Any discussion? Questions? Yes, Mr. McGuire.
When you're saying discussion, can you be more specific about what you're requesting for discussion?
Discussion on the list of appointments. If people have questions, if people have feedback for us, you know, this is our recommendation. And if you vote yes on the recommendation, it's yes on all of them. But if you want to discuss anything, we can do that.
There are motions say, motion to accept pending any necessary changes, something like that.
It could, yes, and we do actually have a note that we may have to revise the executive committee assignments based on how voting by each of the standing committees goes. That is on our agenda for later, so if we need to do that, we have that on the agenda. We also,
That answers my question. then.
okay. Other questions? If not, all those in favor of the recommendations of the Committee on Committees as far as committee appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Assignments are approved by the county board. Thank you all. The next item on the agenda is election of committee officers. What we need to do is with the 4 standing committees that are not the executive committee, we need to get you all together and you need to elect a chair and a vice chair for your committee. We don't have to recess and go into separate sessions. We can do this all as part of our county board session, but I do need to gather each of the committees. Do we have one we want to start with?
So community and health.
Community and health. All those members who are on community and health, we could just have you, I don't know if we need to move people
I don't
around
think-
physically. We
I
can
think
do it
we
while we're
just
seated.
have to discuss
All right.
it here. Yeah.
So those of you who are on the list for community and health, yes, if you would
Question,
read this.
Mr. Chair,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
may I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm also wondering, are we deciding on committee meeting times tonight? I didn't see that on the agenda. I wasn't sure.
So the proposed went out, so unless there is any, that calendar went out to all of you along with the committee assignments. There was a
Oh,
calendar,
Same.
but, so that's not on the agenda. The proposed meeting times were all there, and then I was under the assumption that once the committee actually met, if you wanted a change in time, it would be discussed at that point.
Okay. I don't think I saw that particular calendar. Could you tell us what email it was in? Just so we can find it.
Yeah. Wondering if it's in the packet.
It was an attachment to the email.
Yeah, it was an attachment to an email. I do know that, but I'm just seeing if it's in the packet as well.
And it was one that you sent? Maybe I can
Mhm.
search.
Yep, it was from me with the document
You got
to,
that, but I wanted the calendar.
I'll keep looking for it.
Okay. So. Meeting health members here, Harwick, Kramer, McGuire, Brewer, Glassbrenner, and Miller are our county board members of that committee. And the chair and vice chair of the committee are county board members, so the 6 of you get to determine who will be the chair and vice chair of your committee. Those of you who are on that committee, do you have a nomination for chair?
I nominate Ms. Glassbrenner.
We have a nomination for Ingrid Glassbrenner. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. McGuire.
Superb job.
Right. Ingrid, are you willing to accept that nomination? Thank you. Any other nominations? I don't have to say it 3 times, Michael informed me. So, if you have no other nominations, is there somebody from that committee who would make a vote to close nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Supervisor Glassbrenner as chair?
So moved.
that motion.
Dwyer and Kramer, all committee members in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, Ingrid, it's your show.
Okay, so now we need to open nominations for vice chair. Does anyone have a nomination for vice chair? I'm trying to pick out everybody that's now on the committee. Harlan, Meyer. Oh, Miller's not here tonight. Fire. Well, I would make a nomination for Marty Brewer as vice chair. I have a second. I did say you. And I have a second.
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, does anyone want to make a motion to close the nominations
I'll make that motion to close nominations.
and to cast a unanimous vote? Okay, thank you. Is there anything else we need to do?
No.
Oh,
Got you
all
for
right.
vice chair.
That wraps us up then.
Thank you, committee. So our community and health chair and vice chair are now set. And Ingrid was already a member of the executive committee, so that will cause us to move up one of our alternates.
Mr. Chair, I did find that calendar and I just resent it out all to you. It was sent, back on April 10th to all of you. So I resent it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So could you say you on this?
Oh, yes, I can. Yep. So the Health and Community Services Committee would meet at 9:30 a.m. on the first Thursday of the month.
So let's move now to the Natural Resources Committee. Committee members Caro, Gill, Woodhouse, Brookins, Fleming, McKee, and Hendricks. This time I would entertain a motion to nominate a chair from those members for the Natural Resources Committee.
I'll make a motion to nominate Supervisor Carroll.
Supervisor Caro nominated. Do you have a second for that?
I'll second that.
Mr. Caro, are you willing to accept?
Sure.
All right. Any other nominations for Chair of Natural Resources? If not, anybody willing to make that motion, those nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Mr. Caro? Something by Fleming,
Second.
second by Mr. Gill. All those in favor say aye. Right. Mr. Caro, your chair.
And the Natural Resources Standing Committee will meet the first Monday of the month at 3 p.m.
Elect your vice chair, Mr. Caro.
Yeah. See what we got here.
I got distracted because my iPad's having troubles, so it's procedure to do it.
You need to solicit nominations from your committee for the vice chair position.
Are there any nominations for vice chair for the Natural Resources Committee?
I'll nominate Richard McKee.
I have to decline. Is that a second? Did you get a second on that?
He declined.
Or decline? Okay.
You served on that committee before, Julie? Have you served on this committee before, the voting and stuff? She might be a good candidate for vice chair. Having been on there. The committee-
I'll make a motion to nominate Fleming as vice chair.
I'll second it.
I'll accept.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Accept the motion to close nominations for vice chair.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
Second.
That's to close and cast a unanimous ballot. To close and cast a unanimous ballot.
Yes.
To close this cast.
Okay.
All those in favor of Julie as vice chair for the committee, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay? All right. Unanimous.
Congratulations to you both. Thank you, Natural Resources Committee. All right, moving on to Public Works Committee. Supervisors Cosgrove, Williamson, Manning, McGuire, Cooey, Renish, and Caro. Looking for a nomination for Chair of Public Works.
Nominate Ken Renish.
Mr. Cosgrove nominates Ken Renish. Cooey seconds it. Mr. Renish, you willing to accept? All right. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ken Renish.
Already done.
Already done?
Yes. Would that be a motion to close nominations and cast a unanimous ballot?
Be a motion for me to go and get a hearing aid.
While at the same time making a motion to close nominations and cast a unanimous
I will,
ballot?
yeah.
Okay. The second for Mr. Cosgrove for that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good. Your chair, Mr. Renish.
So I would open up nominations for vice chair of Public Works. I'll second that. You accept, Chad?
Yeah.
Are there any other nominations?
No, but I'll cast the closed ballot and all that stuff.
Make a motion to close nominations, cast unanimous ballot.
That sounds great.
Is there a second to that? Second by Cosgrove. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Chad. Meeting adjourned.
Public Works members, and last but not least, Public Safety Supervisors Frank, Turk, Manning, Fleming, Cosgrove, Severson, and Woodhouse. We have a nomination for chair.
Bob Frank. Second.
All right, we have a nomination and a second for Bob Frank as
We'll
chair.
accept
Bob,
that.
do you accept? Very good. Any other nominations? Otherwise, as a member of the committee, I would make a motion to close nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Supervisor Frank. Do we have a second?
I want to nominate Bob Frank.
You're not even on the committee. So. Do we have a second on that? Carrie, Mr. Severson seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Congratulations, Bob.
All right, thank you. So we're opening this for the vice chair for public safety, looking for nominations for the vice chair of public safety. Nominate Carrie Severson. All right, I have a nomination for Carrie Severson. Second. I have a second, Carrie Severson. Looking for a motion for anyone else or someone else to make motion to close nominations and cast unanimous.
I'll make a motion to close and cast unanimous.
All right, thank you, Cosgrove. Second on that.
I'll second.
All right. Fleming, on second hand. So two hands go up here, so it's okay. Fleming is second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Question on the meeting days for public safety for others.
So, public safety will meet the first Friday of the month at 8:30 a.m. And Public Works will meet the first Thursday of the month at 4 p.m. And then Executive Committee, for all of those who will now be on Executive Committee, will be the second Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m.
Thank you, committee members. Now we need to loop back to, well, not loop back, but we need to do item number 7, which is the revision of executive committee assignments. We have a couple of committee chairs who were already members. So you do 2 or 3?
We have 2. So we have Ken Renish, who was already on Executive Committee, and Ingrid Glassbrenner, which are now Chair of Public Works and Community and Health Services. So with that, we have the addition of Chair of Natural Resources, Steve Caro, and Chair of Public Safety, Bob Frank. And the 2 alternates then that would backfill the 2 positions at large would be Gary Manning and Mr. Gill.
So those are the recommendations of the Committee on Committees to round out the membership of the executive committee.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Cosgrove, second by Supervisor Glassbrenner. All those in favor of confirming these appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, for executives. Again, second Tuesday at 5 for executives.
Second Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. Correct.
Supervisor Williamson is the chair of that. But
Surprise.
want to keep reminding you.
Yeah, you're liking that.
Yes, I am. All right, thank you all. We are on to item number 8, an update on the UW campus. This was a late addition. You have copies of what we received this afternoon, and the county has subsequently put out a press release. For those of you who haven't had time to read it, I just want to go over it quick. Candace and I got a letter this afternoon from the universities of Wisconsin. It said in January of 2023, President Rothman announced that in-person education would no longer be provided at the Richland County campus due to low enrollment numbers. Following the announcement, Jeff Burant, who is the person who wrote this letter, was directed
Sorry about that.
to work with community leaders and evaluate viable options for the universities of Wisconsin to maintain a presence on the campus. In their words now, despite significant efforts, meetings, and discussions with various stakeholders, the parties recognized by the fall of 2023 that no viable options existed. And at that point, we began to work on a temporary agreement to reflect a reduced footprint and presence on the campus by allowing the Richland School District to move into East Hall and for that building to be removed from the memorandum of understanding that's between Richland County and the UW system. It is also our understanding that the school district is interested in taking possession of the gym for use by the high school. I'm writing today to inform you that after careful consideration and despite tremendous efforts expended by Richland County and the universities of Wisconsin over these past many months, UW-Platteville will completely vacate the Richland County campus by July 1st, 2024. While we are disappointed that we were unable to find a path forward, we also know this change can provide significant new opportunities in Richland County. As you know, Governor Evers has recently signed into law legislation authored by Representative Kurtz and Senator Markline, which would provide $2 million to any county where a branch campus has been closed. Once we finalize the end of our MOU, it is our understanding that Richland County would be eligible for these funds, which can be used to redevelop the campus facilities to better serve the community. This potential investment by the state of Wisconsin represents the full consideration of the costs expressed by Richland County, according to them. Our next objective is to establish a systematic process for transitioning the management of the campus facilities back to your team. Additionally, we need to plan for handling assets that will remain on the campus. To start this process, UW-Platteville drafted the attached memo outlining the steps they will take between now and July 1st and an inventory of items on campus. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Jeff Burant, Vice President for University Relations, Universities of Wisconsin. In the attached memo, UW-Platteville says that they will maintain building oversight and status checks through June 30th of this year, maintain financial responsibility for utility services through June 30th, conduct limited grounds maintenance until June 30th, conduct limited custodial support of buildings until June 30th, consolidate library materials with UW-Platteville in accordance with the Universities of Wisconsin guidelines, coordinate with the Richland Foundation, the UW-Richland Alumni Association, and local theater groups to remove their items and memorabilia by May 15th. Remove UW-Platteville fleet vehicles and miscellaneous items by May 15th. Collect keys from UW-Platteville staff and provide them to Richland County on July 1st, 2024. And discontinue internet and Wi-Fi, including removal of firewalls and out-of-band equipment, no later than June 30th, 2024. They say that the university is willing to transfer the remaining contents, such as furnishings, fixtures, equipment, and miscellaneous items, excluding maintenance and information technology necessary for operations through June 30th, to the county under a provision in Wisconsin Administrative Code. We're supposed to notify Jeff Burant by May 15th if the county would like to take possession of the contents. If the county does not desire to take possession of them, the university intends to remove all remaining contents beginning May 16th with completion no later than June 30th. Land and associated improvements, including utilities, water, and so on, will become the responsibility of the county effective July 1st, 2024.
Motion to go in closed session.
That is the next item on our agenda, a motion to go into closed session for two purposes. And there are state statute citations there you can review in detail, but the purposes will be to confer with our attorney regarding this correspondence and an update from the universities of Wisconsin, as well as to confer with legal counsel, rendering oral or written advice concerning strategies to be adopted with respect to litigation which may be involved in the update on the Pine Valley operations that the board did receive a closed session brief on last month. Was it earlier this month? Last month. So for those of you new to the board, this will be your first time hearing about it. So do we have a motion to enter into closed session to discuss these items as documented on the agenda? Motion by Mr. Cooey.
Ken did.
I'll second.
Second by Ken. Oh yeah, that's right. Ken, you started. Sorry. All right. Motion by Ken Reddish, second by Mark Cooey. All those in favor of moving into closed session, please say aye. Is anyone opposed? Let the record show it was a unanimous vote to enter into closed session. At this time, I'll have Barb disconnect us from the online session. And we will get the doors closed here and move into closed session discussions.
You're okay if we end this now?
Yeah, you just want us to then keep a record of when we adjourn?